Hey everybody, this is A Song Between. Today we're talking about how do you pray against evil. Let's discuss, shall we? Hey again everybody, welcome back. My name is Gray Ewing and this is A Song Between, which is a ministry of New Valley Downtown in Phoenix, Arizona. We are taking time every weekday to spend some time together in the Psalms while we can't gather and worship together. So thanks for joining us on that journey today. Today is Psalm 140. Certainly not a very positive psalm, not a very encouraging psalm, more of a psalm about reality. The reality we face with the fact that evil exists in this world and how we actually pray against that evil. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's take just a moment to quiet our hearts and be still before the Lord before I read this psalm. To the choir master, a psalm of David. Deliver me, O Lord, from evil men. Preserve me from violent men who plan evil things in their heart and stir up wars continually. They make their tongue sharp as a serpent's, and under their lips is the venom of asps. I say to you, Lord, you are my God. Give ear to the voice of my pleas for mercy, O Lord. O Lord, my Lord, the strength of my salvation. You have covered my head in the day of battle. Grant not, O Lord, the desires of the wicked. Do not further their evil plot, or they will be exalted. As for the head of those who surround me, let the mischief of their lips overwhelm them. Let the burning coals fall upon them. Let them be cast into fire, into miry pits, no more to rise. Let not the slanderer be established in the land. Let evil hunt down the violent men speedily. I know that the Lord will maintain the cause of the afflicted and will execute justice for the needy. Surely the righteous shall give thanks to your name. The upright shall dwell in your presence. I'm fairly confident that you've heard of praying for someone. Someone has been hurt or they're worried about their job and you pray for them. You say, I will pray for you. When is the last time that you prayed against someone? That you prayed against their purposes? That you prayed that what they wanted would not come to pass? That is in fact the way that this psalm is laid out. From beginning to end, it is a prayer for God to thwart the purposes of evil men, the enemies of God. Now, if you need a refresher on who the enemies of God are and how we understand that as Christians, you can go back and look at episode 10, where we talked about that very topic. Just to give you the summary of it, we said that the enemies of God for us are the world, the flesh, and the devil. The world is the systems that are set up against God. The flesh is the war that happens within myself, the battle of sin and the old man that exists in me, as Paul says. The world, the flesh, and the devil. We have an adversary, the evil one, and his demons. We fight those battles, not just of flesh and blood, but of princely powers, the scriptures say. So we have these enemies, the enemies of God. Now, today we're talking about how we actually pray against those things. How we pray against the purposes of the enemy. And this is something that Christians should be doing. A lot of times we have this idea that Christians should be these naive, just kind of kind-hearted, simple folk who are just basically hold each other's hands and sing kumbaya. And it is true that Christians should be known for their love and for their kindness, and that is the fruit of the Spirit. But Christians should also be known, according to the scriptures, for calling a spade, seeing evil in the world, and crying out to the Lord against that evil. What are the things that we should include in our prayers against the purposes of evil that exist in this world? I want to tell us 4 quick things that we should include in our prayers. It's what the psalmist says here in Psalm 140. The first thing that he prays is he prays that the plans of the evil people will not work. Their plans will be thwarted. This is all over the Psalms. a prayer that when evil people scheme and plot against the righteous, when those who do not care about God, those who have nothing to do with the Lord or his purposes, when they begin to scheme and plot and take advantage of people, he prays that their plans would come to nothing. He says, they plan evil in their hearts, stir up wars continually. Guard me from these things, O Lord. Guard me from these hands of the wicked. He prays that their purposes will stop. Another theme in the Psalms is that the psalmist prays that whatever the wicked are planning for the righteous, that they themselves will experience. This is a way that we pray actually for revenge in our prayers. It is right that revenge is not something that is our prerogative as human beings. We should never take revenge for God or in God's name. However, we can pray that God will have vengeance. The things that people do sometimes in the world, evil people do exist in this world. Evil systems do exist. Evil exists within us. And a lot of times what we plan and what evil people plan, we can pray that the exact opposite would happen. That thing, whatever they have planned, will happen to them. This is all over the Psalms. This desire for the wicked to come to the end that they're planning for everyone else. Thirdly, the psalmist prays for judgment or justice against the wicked. He says, let burning coals fall upon them. Let them be cast into fire, into miry pits, no more to rise. He's saying, will you judge justly, Lord? Will you do what you've said you're going to do and be a just God? This is so important. It can sound so harsh from the outside, but think about this. None of us want to live in a world without justice, without consequences. The idea of consequences is so central to our justice system that it's built on that. So in prayer, it is right and good for us to say, will you do what you've said you're going to do? Will you actually come and make things right, including restoring the righteous, but also judging the wicked? This is part of the way that we pray. Fourth and finally, the psalmist appeals to God's character. It is perfectly great in a prayer to appeal to who God is in the case where there is some wickedness going on. The psalmist does it multiple times here. I say to the Lord, you are my God. Give ear to the voice of my pleas for mercy. You are my strength and salvation. Verse 12, I know the Lord will maintain the cause of the afflicted. See, he's using the mercy, the goodness, the strength of the Lord, the fact that the Lord will never abandon the afflicted. These parts of God's character, he reminds God of in prayer. Now, does God need reminding of his character? God knows his character, but he delights to see his children reflecting on his character. And so these are all faithful ways that in the face of evil not being those people that we don't like necessarily, but evil being the world, the flesh, and the devil, that we look around and we see, where are those evil people, the systems of injustice, and we actually pray against those things. We pray that what they plan will not come to nothing, that what they plan will happen to them, that the Lord will take appropriate vengeance, that he will judge the wicked, and that he will do so because of his goodness, his mercy, and his care, and his commitment to us who are his people.